Jen handed me a canvas gift bag in our kitchen, said it was a souvenir from Sedona. Inside was a positive pregnancy test and a condition. I'm standing there, looking at this bag. It's got Sedona Wellness Retreat printed on it in that Southwest font everyone uses. All curves and desert colors. When she slid it across the kitchen table toward me, the red rock sand inside shifted with this gritty, whispering sound, like secrets being told. There's tissue paper, the kind you get in the tourist shops and nestled in there. A pregnancy test, clear plastic wrapper, 2 pink lines. My first thought is joy. 13 years of marriage, the twins are 12 now, and we'd talked about maybe one more. I'm smiling, I'm about to reach for her hand. And then she says it. Before you say anything, I need you to know something. This baby isn't biologically yours, but it could be ours if you love me enough. I met someone in Sedona. His name is Ryan. He's not ready to be a father. But you are. You're amazing at stepping up for people. The twins need a sibling. I need you. All you have to do is say yes. Adopt this baby, and we never mention Ryan's name again. Can you be the man I know you are? The bag's still sitting between us. There's a pine sachet tucked in the bottom, giving off that forced wilderness smell. The kind you buy because you want to remember the trip. The drawstring is rough under my fingers when I finally pick it up. Practical canvas, not fancy gift wrap. She'd presented the end of our marriage in a $4 souvenir bag. I'm Derek Callahan, 36 years old, Station 19 firefighter, paramedic, union vice president. People call me a hero. Last year, I pulled a family out of a warehouse fire. Father, mother, 2 kids, and a dog. The mayor gave me a medal. The local news did a story. Portland's bravest, they called me. And I'm standing in my kitchen, staring at my wife, trying to understand how the woman I've loved for 13 years just asked me to raise another man's child, like it's some kind of gift. How does a man who runs into burning buildings for strangers find the courage to save himself from a marriage that's already burned down? That's the question I didn't know I'd be asking, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. Let me tell you how we got here. It's 2 a.m, the twins are asleep down the hall, Connor and Tyler, 12 years old, both of them planning to be firefighters like their old man. Jen's in the guest room, said she needed space to process my reaction. I'm in our bedroom, going through her things. I know how that sounds, but I need to understand. This wasn't some one-night mistake. She said she met someone, past tense, as in they had a relationship, as in she went to Sedona with a plan. I find the brochure in her nightstand drawer. It's glossy, tri-fold, printed on that textured paper stock that costs extra. Terracotta and sage green colors, Southwest Retreat aesthetic. Sedona Wellness Retreat, find your true self. There's a faint smell, essential oils, lavender maybe, like it's been sitting in a spa somewhere. The paper makes this soft rustling sound when I open it. Expensive, intentional. I remember when she showed me this, 3 months ago. We were sitting right here, in this bed, and she said, "Derek, I'm burning out. The ER is killing me. Night shifts, trauma cases, I need to find myself again. This retreat does yoga, meditation, silent reflection. Can I go?" And you know what I said? I said, "Of course, babe, you need this. How much is it?" She said, "I'll figure it out." I pull out my phone, check our bank statements. There's no charge from the Sedona Wellness Retreat. None. I go back further. Nothing. Then I remember she has the email confirmation somewhere. I open her laptop. It's not even password protected. Why would it be? We're married. We trust each other. Or we did. I find the email. Confirmation for 1 week at Sedona Wellness Retreat. 5 days, 4 nights. February 10th through the 14th. Valentine's Day. She was in Sedona over Valentine's Day. And I didn't even think about it because I was covering shifts for another firefighter whose kid was sick. And right there at the bottom of the confirmation, payment processed $4,200, card ending in 77 to 34. Cardholder, Ryan P. Morrison. Ryan P. Morrison. Not her card, not our card. His card. I'm sitting there with the brochure in one hand, the laptop screen glowing in the other, and I pull out this old spiral notebook. Blue cover, wire spiral that's coming apart at the top. It's my union rep call log. I keep track of every grievance, every shift dispute, every brother who needs help navigating the system. I flip back to February 10th, the day Jen left for Sedona. Johnson versus Cruz, shift trade dispute, 4 hours. I was at the union office for 4 hours, mediating between two firefighters who couldn't agree on a schedule swap, while my wife was getting on a plane to meet another man, a man who'd already paid for her entire trip. I didn't even drive her to the airport. I told her I was sorry, but Johnson really needed me. She said it was fine. She'd take a cab. I didn't kiss her goodbye. I just let her walk out with her suitcase, and I felt good about it. Proud even, like I was being a good union rep, a good brother to my fellow firefighters. The notebook smells like Station 19, burnt coffee and underlying smoke that seeps into everything. Every page is filled with my left-handed writing, that distinctive slant lefties get when they're pushing the pen across the page instead of pulling it. Names, dates, hours, I count them. 23 entries between November and February. 23 times I chose brotherhood over going home. 23 times I told Jen, "Sorry, babe, one of the guys needs me." We run into burning buildings for strangers. That's what we do. That's who we are, but I couldn't save my own marriage. Morning comes, I haven't slept. I'm at Station 19 for my shift, and I'm trying to act normal. The apparatus bay smells like diesel and coffee. The rigs are lined up. Engine 19, ladder 19, medic 19. Everything polished, everything ready. I'm in the truck bay, polishing my helmet. It's regulation yellow, but mine's different. Scratched from a decade of rescues. Permanently stained with smoke that no amount of washing can remove. It weighs exactly 3.5 pounds, but today it feels like I'm carrying the weight of 280 firefighters' expectations. The Station 19 emblem is riveted to the front. Our number, our pride. When I set it down on the concrete floor, it makes this hollow, definitive sound, the sound of an identity. "Derek, there's the man of the hour!" Captain Miguel Santos walks in. 48 years old, been my captain for 6 years, my mentor for longer than that. He's holding a coffee, black, 2 sugars, same as always. His dress uniform is hanging in his office. The Firefighter of the Year ceremony is in 7 weeks, February 14th. Valentine's Day. "You ready for the big night?" he asks. Speech prepared, Jen excited. I'm looking at my helmet. The leather chin strap is worn soft from years of use. I can feel where my jaw has sat in it 1,000 times. "Yeah, Cap, all set." "You okay?" He's looking at me closer now. "You look like you've seen a ghost." My hands are shaking, just a little, but enough that the helmet wobbles when I pick it up. "I'm good. Just tired. Long night." Rachel Kim walks over. She's my paramedic partner. 29 years old, sharp as hell. Saves more lives before breakfast than most people do in a year. We've been partners for 3 years. She knows my tells. "Derek, seriously, what's wrong?" The whole crew's here now. 24 firefighters in various states of mourning. Some doing rig checks, some making breakfast, some already settled into the card game in the common room. This is my family. This is my brotherhood. These are the people I chose over my wife, again and again and again. "Nothing," I say. "I'm fine." But I'm not fine. I'm standing here in the place where I'm supposed to be a hero, and all I can think about is how my wife is pregnant with another man's child, and I didn't even see it coming. Rachel's still looking at me. She doesn't buy it. "Derek, you look like you've seen a ghost," she says again, quieter this time. "What happened?" If you've ever had to smile through the worst day of your life, if you've ever worn the mask when you were breaking inside, just type "mask" in the comments. You're not alone. Sometimes the uniform is the only thing holding you together. I force a smile. "Really, I'm good. Let's do rig checks." She doesn't push it. Not here, not in front of the crew. But I can see her filing it away. Rachel's like that. She sees things. On the wall in the common room, there's a framed photo. 16 by 20 inches, the whole crew in dress uniforms. I'm front and center. Captain Santos is behind me with his hand on my shoulder, and there, to my right, is Jen. She's wearing that blue dress she loves, smiling at the camera. That photo was taken 3 weeks before she left for Sedona. The brass plate on the frame says, "Brotherhood stronger than fire." I wonder if she was already planning it when that picture was taken. I wonder if that smile was real, or if she was already thinking about Ryan P. Morrison and his credit card ending in 734. That evening, I'm home. The twins are at basketball practice. Tyler's team, Connor's supporting him. They won't be back for an hour. Jen's in the kitchen, making dinner like nothing's wrong, like she didn't just blow up our entire lives yesterday. I'm looking through her purse. I know, but I can't help it. I need to understand who this Ryan person is, how they met, how long this has been going on. And then I find them, a stack of business cards. 8 of them, held together with a rubber band, minimalist design, cream cardstock, the expensive kind, with raised lettering you can feel under your fingertips. On the front, Ryan Patrick Morrison, life wellness consultant. On the back, his photo, mid-30s, good-looking in that deliberately casual way. Styled hair, expensive watch visible in the photo. There's a faint cologne scent coming off the cards, something woody, masculine. When I flick one of the cards with my finger, it makes this snapping sound. Quality cardstock. What are you doing? Jen's standing in the kitchen doorway. She's still in her scrubs from her shift. Her hair's pulled back. She looks tired. She looks like my wife. Except she's not. Not really. Not anymore. I hold up the cards. Who is Ryan Morrison? I told you who he is. These are business cards. 8 of them. Why do you have 8 of his business cards? She crosses her arms. He gave them to all the nurses at OHSU. He does pharmaceutical sales. He calls on the hospital. That's how we met. And you kept 8 of them? I kept 1. He gave me a stack to hand out to other people for his wellness consulting business. His wellness consulting business, I repeat. So he's a pharmaceutical rep who also does life coaching? Yes, he helps people find balance, work-life integration. He helped you find balance in Sedona? Her jaw tightens. Derek, don't do this. Don't do what? Ask questions? Try to understand how my wife ended up pregnant by a life wellness consultant? You're being paranoid. Am I? I pull out my phone. Rachel works at OHSU. She knows people in the ER. Let me just text her. Ask if Ryan Morrison gave business cards to all the nurses. Or just to you. Don't you dare. Why not? If he gave them to everyone, the nurses will confirm it, right? She doesn't answer. She just turns and walks back into the kitchen. I text Rachel anyway. Can you ask the OHSU nurses if they know Ryan Morrison, pharmaceutical sales rep, says he gives out wellness consulting cards? 3 dots appear immediately. Rachel's on it. I look at the cards again. Ryan's photo smiles up at me from the back of each one. Life wellness consultant. What the hell does that even mean? My phone rings. It's 11 at night. The twins are asleep. Jen's in the guest room. I'm sitting in my truck in the station parking lot. I came here after everyone went to bed at home. I couldn't be in that house. The rain's coming down. Portland in December, constant rain. The windshield wipers are off, so the water just sheets down the glass, making everything outside blur into impressionist paintings. The caller ID says Amanda Pierce, Jen's best friend, also an ER nurse at OHSU. They've been friends for 8 years. Hello? Derek? Her voice is slurred. She's drunk. Derek, I need to tell you something. Amanda, are you okay? I'm not okay. I haven't been okay for 3 months. I need to tell you something. And Jen's going to hate me. But I can't keep doing this. My hand tightens on the phone. What is it? She planned it, Derek. The Sedona trip. She didn't just meet Ryan there. She was talking to him for weeks before. Maybe months. She told me she was going to do it. She said, Amanda, I need an adventure. Derek's always at the station. He loves those firefighters more than he loves me. I'm going to Sedona, and I'm going to find someone who actually sees me. The rain sounds like static, like the world is breaking up into white noise. Amanda, I should have told you. I should have called you before she left. But she's my friend, and I thought maybe she'd go out there and realize what she had at home. I thought she'd come back and nothing would happen. But something did happen. Yeah, she's crying now. Something did happen. And now she's pregnant, and she's asking you to adopt it, like it's some kind of test of your love. And Derek, that's not fair. That's not love. That's manipulation. While she's talking, there's a sound at my truck window. Someone's tapping. I look up. Through the rain-streaked glass, I see a postal worker. She's holding an envelope. She taps again, gestures to my window. I roll it down. Rain immediately starts coming in. Sorry to bother you, she says. I saw the fire department decal. You're Lieutenant Callahan? Yeah. This came to the station earlier. They said you were here. It's marked urgent. She hands me a manila envelope. No return address. Just my name, written in block letters, Lieutenant Derek Callahan. Thanks, I say. She nods and heads back to her truck. Amanda's still talking on the phone. Derek, I'm so sorry. I should have told you. She said you'd never notice because you're always at the station. She said, I tear open the envelope. Inside is a credit card statement. Ryan P. Morrison's American Express, highlighted in yellow marker. The dates jump out at me immediately. February 10th to 14. Sedona, Arizona. Four Seasons Resort, Scottsdale. Suite upgrade, 340s. Couples dessert, sunrise yoga session, 180s. Room service, champagne and strawberries, 95 desire. Red Rock Spa, couples massage, 280ers. Dinner for two, Mariposa Latin inspired. Grill, 240os. Couples, couples, couples. She told me she needed silence and meditation, I say into the phone. My voice sounds far away. She said it was a solo retreat for healing, for finding herself. I know, Amanda whispers. I'm so sorry. I'm staring at the charges. The yellow highlighter makes them glow in the dim light of my truck's dome lamp. She didn't go there alone. She went there to be with him. Every word she told me was calculated. Every single word was a lie. And I believed her. I encouraged her. I paid for her cab to the airport. Amanda, I say, who sent me this? I don't know. Maybe someone who knows what Ryan's been doing. Derek, you should know. Jen's not the first. What? Ryan has a reputation at the hospital. Some of the nurses won't work with him anymore when he comes around. There are rumors. What kind of rumors? The kind about married women. The kind about pharmaceutical reps who blur lines. I don't know all the details, but Derek, I don't think Jen was special to him. I think she was just available. Through the windshield, even through the rain, I can see the Station 19 crew photo hanging in the common room window. That photo with Jen in it. That photo from 3 weeks before Sedona. She was already planning it when we took that picture. She already had Ryan's number. She already knew she was going to do this. And she smiled for the camera anyway. I have to go, Amanda says. I'm so sorry, Derek. I'm so sorry. She said you'd never notice because you're always at the station. The line goes dead. I sit there in my truck, rain hammering on the roof, credit card statement in my hands, and I realize something. She was right. I was always at the station. 23 times in 4 months, I chose union business over coming home. I chose my brothers over my wife. We run into burning buildings for strangers, but I couldn't save my own marriage. The next morning, Captain Santos calls me into his office. The door's glass so the whole crew can see us, but they can't hear. I watch them pretending not to watch. Santos sits behind his desk. He's got my union rep call log open in front of him, that blue spiral notebook. He must have taken it from my locker. Sit down, Derek. I sit. He doesn't say anything for a long moment, just looks at me. Then he slides the notebook across the desk. I'm going to read you some dates, he says. You tell me what you were doing. Cap, January 15th. I know where this is going. Mediating the Johnson Cruise shift dispute. How long? 4 hours. January 15th was the night Jen left for Sedona. You remember that? My jaw tightens. Yeah. He flips a page. December 8th. Wilson's grievance about overtime assignment. 3 hours. Another page. November 22nd. Anderson's family emergency coverage. 5 hours. Another page. October 3rd. Martinez's medical leave documentation. 2.5 hours. He keeps going. Through November, through December, through January, 23 entries, 23 times I chose the job over home. Derek, he says finally, I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I'm telling you this because you need to understand something. You taught me loyalty. You taught half this crew what it means to be a brother. But you didn't teach me when to quit. And maybe I failed you there. Cap, I don't need... You're taking administrative leave, effective immediately. What? No, Cap, I'm fine. I can work. You're not fine. He stands up, walks around the desk. Takes my helmet off the shelf where I left it this morning. The yellow paint catches the light. All those scratches. All that smoke staining. I'm keeping this until you're in the right headspace to wear it. Santos, that's Captain Santos right now, and I'm pulling you off the line. 1 week minimum. You go home. You figure out what you're going to do about your marriage. You talk to your sons. You get your head straight, because right now, you're a danger to yourself and everyone who works with you. He sets the helmet on his desk, that hollow, definitive sound. You taught me loyalty, he says again, quieter now. But you didn't teach me when to quit. Maybe I should have. Maybe if I'd told you 5 years ago to go home more, to let someone else handle the union shit, maybe you wouldn't be sitting here right now. I want to argue. I want to tell him I'm fine, that I can compartmentalize, that I've worked through worse. But my hands are shaking again. 1 week, he says, then we'll talk. I walk out of his office. The crew's all watching now, not even pretending. Rachel's by the coffee maker. She looks at me, and I can see she knows something's wrong. I grab my jacket and leave. Rachel calls me that afternoon. I'm at home, sitting in my truck in the driveway, because I don't want to go inside yet. I asked around at OHSU, she says, about Ryan Morrison. And the nurses know him, pharmaceutical sales rep, makes rounds to different hospitals. But Derek, there's something you should know. Tell me. I went to the ER break room, talked to 6 different nurses. None of them have his business cards. Jen said he gave them to everyone. He didn't. I pushed harder, asked if anyone knew him personally, and Derek, one of the nurses, pulled me aside. She didn't want to talk in front of the others. I'm gripping the steering wheel. What did she say? She said Ryan Morrison has a reputation. He targets married women in healthcare, specifically married women. She said he only gives his business cards to women who are wearing wedding rings. He never approaches single nurses. My stomach drops. There's more, Rachel continues. This nurse, her name is Bethany. She said Ryan did the same thing to her friend 2 years ago, got her pregnant, then disappeared when she told him. Bethany's friend was a respiratory therapist, married, 2 kids. Ryan told her all the same things, that he could help her find balance, that her husband didn't appreciate her, that she deserved better. Jesus! I asked Bethany if she knew of anyone else. She made some calls. Derek, there are at least 5 women at OHSU who have stories about Ryan Morrison. 5 that we know of. Some of them just had affairs. Some of them got pregnant. All of them were married. All of them were in healthcare. I'm seeing those business cards in my mind. 8 of them. Cream card stock. His photo on the back. Life wellness consultant. He's a predator, I say. Yeah, he is. And Derek. Jen's just the latest one. I think about the credit card statement, the highlighted charges, couples massage, champagne and strawberries. She wasn't special to him, I say. No, I don't think she was. We sit in silence for a moment. The rain started again, always raining in Portland. There's something else, Rachel says. Bethany said Ryan's ex-girlfriend has been trying to expose him. She's the one who sent you that credit card statement. She got his mail somehow. Maybe they still live together. I don't know. But she's trying to warn the wives. She's sent information to at least 3 other women. Why? Because Ryan did the same thing to her. She thought they were serious. Turns out he was seeing 4 other women at the same time. All married. She found out, confronted him. He denied everything. She's been collecting evidence ever since. I look at the credit card statement on my passenger seat. Some woman I've never met cared enough about me to send this, to warn me. Thank you, Rachel. Derek, what are you going to do? I don't know yet, but I'm not raising his kid. I know that much. Frank Donnelly calls me in to the union office 2 days later. He's the union president, 55 years old, been fighting for firefighters' rights for 30 years. His office is in downtown Portland, above a coffee shop that always smells like burnt espresso. There are 3 other union board members there when I arrive, all of them in jeans and station shirts, all of them looking uncomfortable. Frank gestures to a chair. Sit down, Derek. I sit. We heard what happened, Frank says, with your wife, with the situation. How did you hear? Santos called me. He's worried about you. We're all worried about you. One of the board members, Garcia from Station 7, slides something across the table. An envelope, cream-colored, embossed logo. It's the invitation to the Firefighter of the Year ceremony. RSVP for 2, Garcia says. That's usually you and your wife, right? Usually. Frank leans forward. Derek, we need to talk about how you're going to handle this. The ceremony is in 7 weeks, 600 people, media coverage. You're receiving the highest honor Portland Fire and Rescue can give, and your personal life is complicated right now. I'm aware. We need you to handle this quietly. No drama, no scandals. The public sees you as a hero. They see us all as heroes. If this becomes a story, firefighter's wife has affair, pregnancy drama, all that mess, it reflects on the entire department, on all 280 of us. I'm looking at the invitation. February 14th, Valentine's Day. The day I'm supposed to stand on stage and accept an award for bravery while my wife is pregnant with another man's child. What are you asking me to do? We're asking you to keep it quiet, work it out privately. Maybe consider what she's asking. Adopt the baby, keep the family together, show up to the ceremony like nothing's wrong. I look at Frank. You want me to adopt my wife's affair baby to protect the union's image? I want you to think about the bigger picture. You represent all of us. Your actions affect all of us. If I make this messy, Frank, I didn't do anything. I didn't cheat. I didn't get pregnant by someone else. But you're the public face right now. You're the one everyone's watching. Garcia speaks up. Derek, think about your legacy. Think about what you've built here. You've been union VP for 3 years. You fought for us. Don't throw that away over pride. Pride? I stand up. This isn't about pride. This is about my kids. This is about what I'm teaching my sons about what it means to be a man. Your sons need their mother, Frank says, and their mother needs you to step up. I look at all of them. 4 men, 4 firefighters, 4 brothers who've had my back for years. I represent 280 firefighters, I say. You're right about that. And those 280 firefighters are watching what I do. They're watching to see if their union VP is the kind of man who stands up for himself, or the kind of man who accepts anything to keep the peace. What do you think they respect more? Frank's jaw tightens. Derek, I can't be the guy who's too weak to stand up for himself. If I am, then how do I represent them? How do I walk into negotiations and demand respect for our contracts when I can't even demand respect in my own marriage? I turn to leave. You're making a mistake, Frank calls after me. Maybe, I say, but it's my mistake to make. If you were me, what would you do? Would you divorce Jen and risk the scandal, the whispers, maybe even your career, type divorce? Or would you stay quiet? Adopt the baby, keep the peace for your sons, type adopt. What would you do? There's no easy answer here. I see you in the comments, some of you saying divorce, some saying adopt. You know what? Both answers come from love. That's what made this so hard. The DNA test kit arrives 3 days later. I ordered it online, didn't tell anyone. White box with a lab logo, 2 cheek swab kits in sealed plastic. Instructions. Prepaid return envelope. The plastic packaging makes this crinkling sound when I open it. The swab sticks are textured, rough. I swab my cheek according to the instructions. Then I go into the bathroom Jen's been using. There's hair in her brush. I take 3 strands, seal them in the second kit, mail it off. Results in 7 to 10 business days. The crew finds out. I don't know how, but they do. Maybe Santos told someone. Maybe someone saw the credit card statement before I left that night. Doesn't matter. I show up at the station on day 6 of my administrative leave because I need to pick up some of my gear. The whole shift is there. 12 guys on duty. They're all in the apparatus bay. Johnson sees me first. Derek, you're back? Just grabbing some stuff. But then Garcia from the other day is there too. Must be covering someone's shift. And Martinez, and Wilson. And suddenly I'm surrounded by 12 firefighters, and they all look ready to go to war. We heard what happened, Johnson says. It's fine, it's personal, don't worry about it. The hell it's not something to worry about, Martinez says. That pharmaceutical rep, Ryan Morrison. We know where he works, we know his schedule. He makes rounds at OHSU every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Martinez! We could just have a conversation with him. Explain that what he did isn't acceptable. Explain that you don't mess with a firefighter's family. Wilson steps forward. We take care of our brothers. That's what we do. You've had our backs 1,000 times. Now we have yours. I'm looking at all of them. These men, these brothers. They're serious. They want to hurt Ryan Morrison on my behalf. And part of me, the part that's been burning with rage for a week, wants to let them. but I can't. No, I say, Derek, no, we don't do that. That's not who we are. He deserves it, Johnson says. Maybe, probably. But we don't become them to beat them. We don't cross that line. You understand me? I pull out my phone, show them the DNA test results that came back yesterday, opened the email while I was on my morning run. Had to stop on the sidewalk because my legs wouldn't work anymore. Probability of paternity, 0.0%. Derek James Callahan is excluded as the biological father. 0.00. He's not mine, I say. The baby's not mine, and I'm divorcing her, and I'm going to do it the right way, through lawyers, through the courts, through the system, because that's what we do. We follow the rules, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. The crew's quiet now. That's what makes us different, I continue. That's what makes us heroes, not because we're stronger than everyone else, not because we hit harder, but because we know when to stop. We know when to walk away. We know when the fire's already won and the only smart thing to do is evacuate. Martinez nods slowly. Okay, but if you change your mind, I won't. But thank you. Thank you for having my back. Johnson claps me on the shoulder. Always, brother. Always. The twins' 13th birthday is in 2 weeks, January 20th. We've had it planned for months. Party at the station, my idea, their dream come true. 140 invitations went out to their classmates. The station's been reserved. Captain Santos already approved the use of the apparatus bay. We were going to do tours of the rigs, let the kids try on gear, the whole thing. But now, I'm at home, in the kitchen. Connor and Tyler are showing me the party timeline they made, color-coded. They've thought of everything. And then, at 2:30, we do the rig demonstrations, Connor says. He's got the planning gene from Jen. Everything organized, everything perfect. Tyler's holding up their future firefighter certificates. Both of them got these 4 years ago, when I made lieutenant. They're printed on special flame-resistant paper, a Station 19 tradition for firefighters' kids. The paper has this unusual texture, almost waxy, with a coating you can feel. When Connor holds his certificate, it makes this stiff, crinkling sound. We're going to display these at the party, Tyler says, so everyone can see, like decorations. They're both so excited. They've been planning this for months. Their birthday falls on a weekend this year. Perfect timing. Dad? Connor's looking at me now. Is Mom going to be there? My chest tightens. I don't know yet, buddy. She's been sleeping in the guest room, Tyler says quietly. Did we do something wrong? Oh, God. No, you didn't do anything wrong. Your mom and I we're working through some adult stuff right now. But she'll be okay for the party, right? Connor asks. All our friends' parents will be there. It would be weird if she wasn't. We'll figure it out. But Connor's face is falling. He's 12. He's not stupid. He can see something's wrong. Dad, is she okay? Is she sick or something? She's been crying a lot. I heard her last night. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to explain this to them without destroying their image of their mother, without destroying their sense of safety. It's complicated, I finally say. Adults always say that, Tyler mutters. They're right, we do. That night, I'm putting them to bed. They're 12, technically too old for tucking in, but they still let me do it. Connor's room tonight. They alternate whose room I say good night and last. Connor's got his future firefighter certificate pinned to the wall above his desk, right next to a poster of a fire engine, and photos of us at the station, and his collection of fire department patches from stations all over the country. This kid lives and breathes firefighting, just like his old man. He's lying in bed looking up at the ceiling. Dad, yeah, buddy? When you and Mom adopt the baby, will the baby get one of these too? He's pointing at the certificate. My blood goes cold. What? The baby. Mom said she's pregnant. She said you guys are working out the details. So when you adopt the baby, will the baby become a future firefighter too? Will the baby get a certificate like Tyler and me? I'm standing in the middle of his room. My wallet's in my hand. I was about to put it on his desk, while I bent down to pick up a dropped book. The wallet falls. Opens when it hits the floor. Something slides out. A business card. White. Simple. Slightly bent from living in my wallet for 3 years. Connor picks it up. "Who's this?" he asks. It's the chaplain's card. Matthew Reynolds, fire department chaplain. Been with Portland Fire for 20 years. He gave me this card after a bad call 3 years ago. A kid didn't make it. Matthew sat with me in the rig and didn't say anything. Just sat there. And when he left, he gave me this card with a handwritten note on the back. Call anytime, Matthew 11:28. I never called, never needed to. Connor's reading it. Fire department chaplain. What's that? Someone who helps firefighters when they're going through hard times. Are you going through a hard time? I sit down on the edge of his bed. Yeah, buddy, I am. Is it about the baby? It's complicated. There's that word again. Connor sits up. He's holding the chaplain's card in one hand, looking at his future firefighter certificate on the wall. Dad, you always say firefighters save people. You always say family first. You always say we run into burning buildings because that's what heroes do. Yeah. So, if you don't adopt the baby, does that mean you're not a real firefighter anymore? Does that mean strong men don't save everyone? And there it is. The question I've been dreading. The question that exposes everything I've been teaching him wrong. Because I have been teaching him wrong. I've been teaching him that strength means accepting everything. That being a man means taking hits and never walking away. That family first means saying yes to anything, no matter how much it costs you. I look at my son, 12 years old, about to become a teenager, standing on the edge of becoming a man, and I realize, if I adopt this baby, I teach him that love means letting people destroy you. I teach him that boundaries are weakness. I teach him that self-respect is selfish. But if I don't adopt the baby, if I divorce Jen, if I choose myself, what does that teach him? Tyler appears in the doorway. He's been listening. Connor asked you a question, Dad, he says quietly. Does this mean strong men don't save everyone? I'm looking at both of them, both of my sons, both future firefighters, and I don't have an answer. I call Chaplain Matthew Reynolds the next morning. His voice is gentle, steady. He's heard it all before. Divorces, deaths, scandals, tragedies. 20 years of sitting with firefighters in their worst moments. Can you meet me and my sons somewhere neutral? I ask. I need to tell them the truth, and I need someone there who knows how to help kids process this kind of thing. Of course, he says. How about the church prayer room, 3 o'clock? We'll be there. The prayer room is small. Afternoon light comes through a stained glass window, throwing colored patterns on the floor. There's a couch, some chairs, a box of tissues on the coffee table. Matthew's already there when we arrive. He's 62, gray hair, the kind of face that makes you want to tell him everything. He shakes hands with Connor and Tyler, tells them he's known their dad for years, tells them this is a safe space. Whatever they feel is okay. The boys sit on the couch. I sit in the chair across from them. Matthew's to the side, close enough to help, far enough to let us have this moment. I've got my old union rep call log with me, and a printout of the Station 19 crew photo, the one with Jen in it. Guys, I start, I need to tell you something, and it's going to be hard to hear, but I need you to know that none of this is your fault, not one bit of it. Do you understand? They nod. Connor's gripping Tyler's arm. Mom and I are getting divorced. Connor's face crumples. Tyler just stares. Why? Connor whispers. I take a breath. Matthew nods at me. You're doing okay. Your mom made some choices that hurt our marriage. She went to Sedona and she spent time with someone else, someone who isn't your dad. And the baby she's pregnant with, that baby isn't mine. But you could adopt it, Tyler says quickly. Like she said, you could, I could. But if I did, what would I be teaching you? Connor's crying now, silent tears. That families stay together? No, buddy. I'd be teaching you that you should stay with people who hurt you, that you should accept anything to keep peace, that boundaries are mean, that standing up for yourself is selfish. I open the union rep call log, show them the pages, all those dates, all those hours. You know what else I need to tell you? I messed up too. I wasn't there enough. I was so busy being a hero for strangers that I stopped being present for your mom. Look at all these dates, November through February. 23 times I chose union work over coming home. 23 times I told your mom, sorry, one of the guys needs me. I pull out the Station 19 crew photo. This photo was taken 3 weeks before your mom left for Sedona. See her smile? She was already planning to leave. She'd already met Ryan. She already knew she was going to do this. And I didn't see it, because I was too busy being everyone's hero. So it's your fault? Tyler asks. No, her choices are her choices. But I didn't make it easy for her to stay. I wasn't paying attention, and that's on me. But Tyler, even though I messed up, that didn't give her the right to lie to me for months. That didn't give her the right to ask me to raise another man's baby as some kind of test. You understand? Connor's holding the chaplain's card, the one that fell from my wallet. Is that why you have this? Because you needed help? Yeah. Does asking for help make you weak? I look at Matthew. He's smiling slightly. Go ahead. Nobody. Asking for help makes you smart. Being strong doesn't mean suffering in silence. Being strong means knowing when you need support. And right now, I need support. From Chaplain Matthew, from Captain Santos, from Uncle Sean, from all the people who actually show up. What's going to happen? Connor asks. I filed for divorce yesterday. Your mom will probably move out soon. And you guys, you get to choose where you want to live. In Oregon, kids your age can tell the judge what they prefer. You don't have to decide right now, but when the time comes, you'll have a say. Will we still see Mom? Tyler asks. Of course. She's your mom. She loves you. She and I can't be married anymore, but she'll always be your mom. Connor wipes his eyes. Dad, are you still a firefighter if you're divorced? Yeah, I'm still a firefighter. Are we still firefighters, kids? And here it is. The question that matters. You're firefighters, kids, because you choose courage. Not because of who I'm married to. Not because I save everyone. But because you, both of you, have the guts to face hard things. Right now, you're being so brave. You're listening. You're asking questions. You're not running away. That's courage. That's what makes you firefighters, kids. Tyler nods slowly. So, strong men don't save everyone? Strong men know when to evacuate a burning building. Strong men know when the structure's too far gone, and the only smart thing to do is get out. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Connor looks at his brother. Some silent twin communication happens. Then Connor looks back at me. We want to live with you, he says. Matthew leans forward. Boys, you don't have to decide right now. You can take time. No, Tyler interrupts. We want to stay with Dad. We already talked about it, last night, after... He trails off. After I asked the question about the baby, Connor finishes. We talked in my room. We decided. You're sure? I ask. Yeah, they say together. I'm crying now. Can't help it. These boys, these incredible, brave boys. Matthew passes me the tissue box. The next 2 weeks are a blur of lawyer meetings and paperwork. Jen moves out to stay with her sister. The divorce filing becomes official. I request primary custody. My attorney, James Morrison, came recommended by Captain Santos, tells me Oregon courts will consider the boy's preference. They're 12, James says, old enough to have a voice, especially since there's documented evidence of parental alienation. The recorded therapy sessions? Exactly. Dr. Shaw recording sessions without consent was illegal in Oregon. But more importantly, the content of those recordings shows your wife coaching the boys to blame you. That won't play well. Things start happening fast. Ryan's pharmaceutical company launches an investigation after 3 more women come forward with harassment complaints. Not just at OHSU, other hospitals too. Turns out Ryan's been doing this for years. Different cities, different women, same pattern. He gets fired. 2-week severance, no recommendations. Then something unexpected happens. A letter arrives at my house, hand-addressed, return address in Boulder, Colorado. I open it. Dear Mr. Callahan, my name is Patricia Morrison. I am Ryan's mother. My husband and I recently learned about the situation with your wife and the pregnancy. We also learned that Ryan has refused to take responsibility. We lost our daughter to addiction 5 years ago. Sarah was 31. She left behind a hole in our lives that will never be filled. When we learned that Ryan has a child on the way, a child he's abandoning, we couldn't stand by and watch history repeat itself. We have contacted your wife through her attorney. We would like to adopt the baby. We are financially stable. We have love to give. We have already buried 1 child. We would like the chance to help raise another. We understand this is an unusual request. We understand you may want nothing to do with our family, But if you're willing, we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and your wife about an open adoption arrangement. We would send photos, updates, the child would know their story, but you and your wife would be released from any obligation. We are so sorry for what our son has done. We raised him better than this. We failed somewhere. But we would like the chance to make this right in whatever small way we can. Sincerely, Patricia and Thomas Morrison. I read it 3 times. Ryan's parents, offering to adopt the baby, to take responsibility where their son won't. I forward it to my attorney, to Jen's attorney. Within a week, everyone agrees. Jen will carry the baby to term. The Morrisons will adopt. Open adoption, photos and updates, but no obligation for child support or custody. Ryan, faced with his parents' ultimatum, take responsibility or lose his inheritance, signs away his parental rights. Chooses the money. Of course he does. Frank Donnelly calls me 3 weeks after our confrontation at the union office. Derek, I owe you an apology. You don't... Yes, I do. I asked you to compromise yourself to protect the union's image. That was wrong. I should have supported you. Instead, I pressured you to accept abuse. I'm sorry. Frank, let me finish. The board met yesterday. We took a vote. We're issuing a public statement supporting you. Not just supporting, celebrating you. You showed us what integrity looks like. You showed us that standing up for yourself doesn't make you weak. It makes you a leader. I don't need a statement. Maybe not. But 280 firefighters need to see it. They need to know that their union supports members who refuse to be doormats. They need to know that walking away from toxicity is strength, not failure. He pauses. You were right, Derek. About everything. We should respect you more for having boundaries, not less. The custody hearing is brief. Judge Patricia Whitmore reviews the case, reviews the evidence, reviews the recorded therapy sessions that prove Jen was manipulating the boys. She calls Connor and Tyler into her chambers. Private conversation. Just them and the judge. I wait in the hallway. Jen's there too, at the other end. We don't speak. 20 minutes later, the judge calls us back in. Lieutenant Callahan, Judge Whitmore says, I've spoken with your sons. I want to share something they told me. My heart's pounding. Connor said, and I quote, Mom told us Dad is weak for leaving her, but Tyler and I talked about it. We think Dad is brave. Strong men don't stay with people who hurt them. Strong men know when to evacuate a burning building. He said they learned courage from watching you choose yourself. I'm trying not to cry. Based on the evidence presented and taking into account the boys' clearly expressed preference, I'm awarding primary custody to Lieutenant Callahan. Ms. Callahan will have visitation rights every other weekend and alternating holidays, pending completion of co-parenting classes. The gavel comes down. It's done. February 14th arrives, Valentine's Day. The Firefighter of the Year ceremony. The Portland Convention Center is packed. 600 people in formal wear. Local news cameras in the back. The stage is set with the Portland Fire and Rescue banner behind it. I'm backstage in my dress uniform, the blue jacket with all the pins and medals, white shirt, black tie, the outfit I wore in the Station 19 crew photo, the outfit I thought I'd be wearing standing next to Jen. Captain Santos finds me. You ready? I don't know. This feels weird, going out there alone. You're not alone. He adjusts his own dress uniform. You're going out there with me. I'm your +1, remember? Right. The invitation said RSVP for 2. I wrote in Captain Miguel Santos, where Jen's name would have been. The whole crew's out there, Santos continues. Rachel, Johnson, Martinez, Garcia, all 24 guys from Station 19, plus your brother Sean's crew from Station 7, plus firefighters from 8 other stations. Derek, you've got 75 firefighters in that audience. 75? They wanted to show support. They wanted you to know you're not doing this alone. My throat's tight. The MC calls my name. Time to go. Santos and I walk out together. The applause starts immediately. But then, I see them. Section C, rows 5 through 8. 75 firefighters in dress uniforms, standing, clapping, some of them whistling. Connor and Tyler are in the front row with Uncle Sean. They're wearing their junior firefighter shirts, grinning. The MC reads my citation. The warehouse fire, the family I saved, the the valor and bravery and all the official language that makes what I do sound more heroic than it is. They hand me the plaque, heavy brass, my name engraved, Firefighter of the Year 2025. I'm supposed to give a speech. I wrote something, practiced it, but standing here, looking at those 75 firefighters, at my sons, at Captain Santos beside me, I put the prepared speech in my pocket. I'm supposed to tell you what it means to be brave, I say into the microphone. I'm supposed to talk about running into fires, about facing danger, about all the stuff that makes good TV. I pause. But I think real courage isn't just running into fires. Real courage is knowing when to walk away from things that are already burned down. Real courage is telling the truth when lying would be easier. Real courage is letting your kids see you make hard choices, even when those choices hurt. I look at Connor and Tyler. My sons are here tonight, and a few months ago, I would have told you that being strong meant protecting them from everything, shielding them from hard truths, accepting anything to keep their family intact. But I was wrong. Being strong means showing them that boundaries matter, that self-respect isn't selfish, that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say no. The room is silent. I want to thank Portland Fire and Rescue for this honor. I want to thank Captain Santos for being my +1 tonight. Scattered laughter. And I want to thank every firefighter in this room who showed up tonight to support me. Not because I saved people from a fire, but because I saved myself from a situation that was destroying me. I hold up the plaque. This award says I'm brave, but the bravest thing I did this year wasn't running into a burning warehouse. It was walking out of a burning marriage and teaching my sons that evacuation isn't cowardice, it's wisdom. The 75 firefighters stand first. Then the rest of the room follows. 600 people on their feet. Applause that goes on for 45 seconds. Santos puts his hand on my shoulder. Proud of you, kid. Connor and Tyler are crying. The good kind of crying, and I realize something. Derek and those twins redefined what family means. Not who you're born to, not whose name you carry, but who shows up when everything falls apart. If you've built your own chosen family, the friends who became brothers, the mentors who became parents, the strangers who became home, tell me about them in the comments. And if this story moved you, if you know someone who needs to hear that walking away takes more courage than staying sometimes, subscribe. I tell stories about people who choose integrity when it costs them everything. I'll see you in the next one. 3 weeks later, Sunday afternoon, Station 19. The apparatus bay doors are open, spring sunshine streaming in. Portland's having one of those rare perfect days where it's not raining and the sky is actually blue. Connor and Tyler are here. We're washing the engines. It's become our Sunday thing, just the three of us and whatever crew's on duty. Rachel's teaching the boys how to coil hoses properly. There's a specific technique. The loops have to be even, the weight distributed right, or the hose kinks when you deploy it. Like this, she's saying, demonstrating. See how the coil sits flat? That's what you want. Tyler's trying it, getting it wrong, laughing, trying again. My helmet's back. Captain Santos returned it last week. It's sitting on the engine bumper right now, catching the sunlight. All those scratches, all that smoke staining. Station 19 emblem reflecting. I'm washing the engine's chrome. Bucket of soapy water, clean rag. The water runs down the red paint in sheets. Connor's next to me with his own rag, working on the other side. Dad, he says. Yeah, buddy. Are we still firefighters' kids even though Mom's gone? I stop washing, set down my rag, come around to his side of the engine. I kneel down so we're eye to eye. You're firefighters' kids because you choose courage, not because of who I'm married to, not because I save everyone, but because you, both of you, faced the hardest thing that's ever happened to you, and you didn't run away. You asked questions, you made choices, you stood up for what you knew was right. Even when it hurt, Tyler asks. He's abandoned the hose practice coming over, especially when it hurt. That's the definition of courage, guys, not fearless, but doing the right thing even when you're scared. Connor nods. Like evacuating a burning building? Exactly like that. Johnson walks by with a coffee. Hey, mini Callahans, you guys ready for shift ride-alongs next month? Really? They both light up. Captain approved it. You're 13 now. Old enough. We'll take you on calls. Nothing dangerous, but you'll see what we do. They're practically vibrating with excitement. I stand up. Look around the apparatus bay. The crew's scattered around. Some working on equipment, some playing cards, some just hanging out. Captain Santos is in his office doing paperwork. Rachel's back to teaching hose coiling. This is my family now, not defined by marriage certificate or blood, but by choice, by showing up, by having my back when everything fell apart. The sun's streaming through the open bay doors. The engine's chrome is gleaming. My sons are learning to coil hoses. And my helmet's sitting there, waiting for the next call. We run into burning buildings for strangers. That's still true. That's still who we are. But I learned something these past few months. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't running into the fire. Sometimes it's knowing when to walk away from something that's already burned down, and then building something new with the people who choose to show up. Connor and Tyler, Captain Santos, Rachel, the 75 firefighters who stood up at the ceremony, Chaplain Matthew, even Ryan's parents, people I've never met, but who chose to take responsibility where their son wouldn't. That's family, not who you're born to, not whose last name you share, but who's there when the world's on fire and you need someone to help you find the exit. Tyler comes over with his perfectly coiled hose. "Dad, look! I did it!" I examine it. Even loops, good weight distribution, textbook. "Perfect, buddy. That's perfect." Rachel high-fives him. Natural firefighter right there. The alarm doesn't ring. No calls right now. Just a quiet Sunday afternoon at Station 19. Just me and my sons and my crew and the sunshine and the clean engines and the smell of soap and chrome polish. Just peace. Just home.